the forbidden car empire, Iran Khodro. In the West, names like Ford, Volkswagen, and Toyota dominate the conversation. These companies built global empires with supply chains stretching across the planet. But hidden behind decades of sanctions and political isolation, there exists another automotive giant. A company producing hundreds of thousands of vehicles every year under restrictions that would cripple most industries. Welcome to the world of Iran Khodro, IKCO, the largest car manufacturer in the Middle East and one of the most unusual survivors in the global industry. IKCO's story began in 1962, then called Iran National, assembling vehicles under foreign licenses. Their first major hit came from Britain, the Hillman Hunter, known in Iran as the Paykan. Meaning arrow in Persian, the Paykan became much more than a car. It was Iran's everyday vehicle, simple, durable, and easy to repair. For decades, it served as taxis, family cars, and government transport. Much like the Beetle in Germany, the Paykan put an entire nation on wheels. Production finally ended in 2005 after 2 million units, but many still roam the streets of Tehran today. By the 1990s, the world had changed. New safety and emissions standards forced IKCO to adapt. They turned to France, forming partnerships with Peugeot and Renault. The Peugeot 405 and 206 became massive successes, making Iran one of Peugeot's largest global markets. IKCO was no longer just assembling kits, it was becoming a serious manufacturer. However, politics interfered. As international sanctions intensified in the 2000s, foreign partners were forced to withdraw. Supply chains collapsed. For most, this would mean disaster, but IKCO chose a different strategy: reverse engineering. Engineers studied components they could no longer import, rebuilding manufacturing processes domestically. Local suppliers emerged, and universities began training a new wave of automotive engineers. In 2002, IKCO introduced the Samand. Often called Iran's first national car, it represented a shift toward independence. Sanctions also pushed innovation in unexpected ways, such as the EF7 engine, designed to run on compressed natural gas, CNG. Since Iran holds some of the world's largest gas reserves, this matched the country's energy resources perfectly. Today, Iran is one of the largest CNG vehicle markets worldwide. Despite economic pressure, IKCO continues producing modern models like the Dana Plus, Runa, and Terra. The Terra sedan, based on the Peugeot 301 platform, is heavily localized with domestic engineering. Recently, they entered the crossover market with the Riera SUV and even began experimenting with electric vehicles, proving that technological ambition remains high. Globally, IKCO remains largely unknown. You won't find their dealerships in London or Berlin. Yet, across the Middle East, Central Asia, Russia, and Venezuela, these vehicles are exported and continuously evolving. While the spotlight stays on Tesla or Toyota, IKCO builds hundreds of thousands of cars each year in the shadows. Building a competitive automotive industry is difficult. Doing it while facing decades of sanctions is a feat very few have achieved. IKCO's story shows that pressure does not always destroy innovation. Sometimes it creates it. Now, imagine this. If sanctions disappeared tomorrow and a brand new IKCO sedan appeared in your local dealership for just $12,000, would you buy one? Let us know in the comments. For more hidden stories from the automotive world, subscribe to Rowan's Cars.